Hey, what is up, guys? We are back with ÜWatt episode 34. Oh, we're going at quite a steady pace. As always, I am your host, Jace, joined by my co-host, Mr. Squeak. How are you, Squeak?
I'm alright.
Yeah?
Just having my ears assaulted.
Assaulted. It's a bit far, don't you think?
Not really.
Being a bit dramatic.
I'm not being dramatic. No, it's not. It's perfectly, on the scale of what's just happened, I feel they was assaulted.
Assaulted. It was not like you got wet willied or anything, was it?
Well, it wasn't physical assault, but, it may as well have been.
Okay. Well, call it what you want, mate. You got no evidence, so yeah, you'll have to deal with it. What have you been playing this week?
Not that much, actually. I've been game hopping again. Nothing is really holding me.
Well, you guys like to jump in your little secret parties when you're playing zombies.
It isn't a secret party. It's just so that we can talk without you lot chatting shit about FIFA. Fucking sucking Messi off.
I don't have FIFA installed, so don't
know
know what you're talking about.
You fucking
don't know what you're talking about. I haven't even sold it. I've still got it. I just uninstalled it.
No, uninstalled. Rage uninstalled.
Because it was one of those things where, like, I've played Ultimate Team seasons, and I've played 500 games, and it's split down the middle. 200 wins, 200 losses, 100 draws. And I was like, do you know what? I'm calling this. I don't like this FIFA.
Yep.
It's taken me 500 online games to make the decision. I don't like this game.
I just don't understand. Like, you could have decided after the last one that it was shit.
No, because the last one, like, it's really weird. I can't put my finger on what it is this year. I don't know if it's the thing, like, the changes to things like the market and stuff has taken away a part that I really enjoyed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the best at FIFA, so sometimes I'm going to lose matches. Sometimes it feels like bullshit. Sometimes I'm just beat. But I feel like there's certain aspects when they put in, like, the price lock-in and stuff to try and stop the coin buy-in. I think that took away the aspect of, you used to every now and again be able to find something somebody accidentally put on the market for dirt cheap and you'd be able to buy it.
It's almost like when Forza took away the marketplace, isn't it?
Really? Yeah, and Test Drive Unlimited. The first one had it, the second one didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So, I think they need to put that back into a lot of games having, like, online auctions, because they have it on the MMOs. They have the auction houses. So if you get, like, a really rare piece of kit, you can sell it for. So I know on Neverwinter, you can sell stuff for Astral Diamonds. In the Astral Diamonds, you can convert to Zen coins. Like, there's another market for that. So you can get the premium currency just from playing the game, which is a good touch. I just feel like more people outside of the free-to-play genre could actually use that model as well, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I think with FIFA, it's like you say, it's the coin buying sort of shit, because it's like they have to control the economy some sort of way. So it's sort of. But then it's that thing again. They should have known if people will find an exploit or some sort of glitch or something like that, they will fucking do it. Like,
that's the thing. There's so many things that they've done where, like, they've price locked, like they've price locked players when you're auctioning them and stuff like that. But one of the things that's kind of bugged me as well is that on previous FIFAs you'd play tournaments or whatever, and if you got to a certain level, you'd win a tournament, you'd get a pack of cards, you'd open this pack, and if it was all rubbish, you could quick sell what was in there and at least get some money on top.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you tend to get, when you win a pack on something, it's an untradeable pack, they're all worth 0. So then it just kind of becomes a thing of, what's the point in winning this pack? It doesn't actually have that much value. Like, okay, the pack unopened is worth 7,500 coins. I've opened it now, and it's all shit in there, but it's worth 0.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just kind of, a bit annoying that, but yeah. Moving on. I was reading recently about Xbox One Scorpio. Now, have you seen much on this?
I haven't. I haven't. But at the same time, I probably haven't been like following things as much as I should.
Okay.
I think, like I say, what games aren't holding me right now and stuff like that. I don't really have that sort of.
Okay. Well, the thing that interested me was that there was a word that kept coming up that I hadn't heard before, so I had to look it up. And it's teraflops.
You haven't had teraflops?
I hadn't heard of teraflops until this week. I was not aware of teraflops. I figured like it just reminded me of the word phalanges.
No, because I thought you'd have heard of teraflops just because it's like it's one of the. It's almost like one of those words where you can just put it in anywhere, can't you? I'm about to do a teraflop.
That's the thing. Is so with sorry, with Xbox One Scorpio, they're targeting to have like higher performance than the PS4 Neo that's due to be coming out, or
Yeah.
due to be announced properly. And it's interesting because they've said, PlayStation 4 is reported to have 4.14 teraflops target, whereas Microsoft is saying that they're targeting 6 teraflops peak power
Yeah.
for the Xbox One Scorpio, which is interesting. I think that they've actually seen that PlayStation have been kicking our asses and we need to do something. But at the same time, will they pull it off is a completely different question.
The thing is, so have they really been kicking Xbox?
When you look at sales, they have.
Mm,
I can't remember how much. Was it something like 40 million sales and 270 million game sales for PlayStation. I can't remember what the Xbox One, what their stats are, but I just remember it was just much lower. So it's one of those from straight out the gate. PS4, I think because PS3 did so bad. It didn't do bad, but do you know what I mean? Like when it came
yeah.
to the last generation, 360 was over PS3.
I think the thing with when you think about it, like the last generation, it's almost like Xbox was ahead because they started doing like it was the sort of system software.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas like PlayStation, you had to do them fucking long updates.
Yeah.
Like, which is as soon as they got rid of that, I can sort of see. But I
The thing
think
is, it was even down to things on PS3, like silly little bits like the headsets, because it was just a Bluetooth headset.
yeah,
It picked up every single sound in a person's house.
and then because you didn't get one with it, like, did I'm not gonna say like no one would have them, but like
Very little people would.
yeah,
And it's really annoying, this generation and last generation to hear somebody using their Kinect in order to communicate with others.
oh
But
my
every
god,
single person that had a headset on PS3, that's what it was like.
yeah, those people kill me. I actually die every time someone uses their Kinect as a microphone.
Stein. Stein.
He's not been that
Oh,
bad
it's cold.
lately.
It's cold.
Not been that
Stein.
bad lately, but yeah, Stein.
Mein Führer.
I'll say it without coughing. Like, you used to be a fucking the worst.
Are you?
The worst.
Are you talking to Stein or me now?
Stein, I'm
Okay.
talking to Stein. I realize that he's not here right now to rage at me or sort of do
So
that
now you
laugh.
feel safe, yeah?
Yeah. It's like when he was on the other week, I was sort of like I want to push him and like get him to be really angry, but I can't really.
It would just write the whole show, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like when Bruce Banner isn't able to control the Hulk efficiently. Do you know what I mean? He just starts tearing up
Yeah,
everything.
you know what? It's like what we were chatting about before, where
Then we have to stroke his hand and calm
he
him down.
started his sentence and then he got mad, like didn't finish. It's like, and then he left party. It's like finish the sentence.
I was gonna
Like,
say the lads on the stag got the little insight into an angry Stein, didn't they? We won't say what he was doing,
God,
but he got quite
that was quality.
animated on the minibus, and it was just kind of like we're stuck in a confined space, like in a fish tank with a ticking time bomb.
You know what it was? It's because he had his cape on the wrong way.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, Stein, I didn't have anything to do with that joke. That was all Squeak. All Squeak. But yeah, with the Scorpio and the Neo, it's one of those things where obviously we're expecting to hear the full details over the summer when we got E3 and stuff.
I just don't know how I feel about like a new console coming out so soon, sort of thing. And it like fair enough if it was just pure and basically like a slim, like
Yeah.
not a necessary like a hardware. I can't fucking speak today. Like a hardware upgrade. If it
Yeah.
wasn't a hardware upgrade, it'd be fine, sort of thing. I'd be like, that's cool. But where it's sort of hardware, it's sort of like, like, because are you going to be sort of left behind a bit if you're on
That's
the
the thing. Because this is a problem with with Apple devices, it's got to a point where people that have an iPhone 4 and before, or iPad Mini and earlier, can't download certain apps now. And it would be such a shame if consoles moved into that. Do you know what I mean? If you have the first, if you had the first sets of Xbox Ones, by the end of the cycle, it would be like, oh no, you can't have this Windows update because you're using too old hardware, sort of stuff.
And that's the thing as well with games. How are games going to come about? Is it going to be like is it going to be games optimized for the better machine, and then they like almost have to sort of recode it or develop it for like the older machine, or is it one of those where it's going to be like, oh, we won't bother?
Yeah. Well, this is something to keep an eye on, isn't it? Really.
Or
interesting to see what they say.
What they could just do, sort of do what PC does.
Oh yeah, and just sort of have like a built-in graphic slider sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the Scorpio and the Neo run it at Ultra. And then, because I guess it's that thing as well where, with some of the stuff, it's only the people that have like 4K TVs that are really going to notice a lot of the difference as well.
Yeah.
And it's that thing of, I guess 4K is a bit different, but when you have two HD TVs next to each other, you can see the difference in each of them.
Yeah. The thing is, though, as well, it's not necessarily going to be 4K. It's an upscale.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, realistically, normal people aren't going to see any difference.
No.
Like, those that have 4K TV, it's going to be like when, when it was all HD ready, so it was really 720, sort of upscaled to 10.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that for them. So, I don't know. I just don't know.
It doesn't keep our eyes on. Now, we haven't spoke about VR for a little while, but there was somebody that they were creating a hack for the, what was it for? Sorry.
Oculus?
So it's Oculus Rift, but it was for, what's the other one called?
The Vive? Which one?
Yeah, the Vive. So, what it was is that somebody created a hack for the Vive so that they could play Rift games on the Vive. But in doing their hack, what they ended up kind of doing is the route they took in order to allow the games to port over, they just ended up like hacking the unit so that you could get the games pirated.
Okay.
And so what happened is that Oculus Rift then, like, they done an update so that you can no longer use the hack, but then the creator then basically tweaked what he was doing, and then it bypassed, the way that he's done it is also bypassed the DRM measures. So it's got to a point now where using this hack that he's got, like, the unit cannot tell if you own the game or not. So he's ended up like, he's made a statement saying that I do not support piracy, do not use this library for pirated copies. But he's basically opened up the door for it. If you spent £500 on this unit, you've got an unlimited library now to get games if you're into piracy.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite... It's just one of those things, isn't it? And it's that thing that we said that when something new comes about, and you said if there's an exploit, people will find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Whether this person intended to make this happen or not,
I was going to say,
it's out there now.
It doesn't really mean that he went out to, like, create this sort of piracy within these, like, consoles. I don't really want to call them consoles. They're not really consoles.
Platform.
Yeah. But, like, it's that thing. Even if he didn't open it up, so say, someone would have eventually found it through whatever he was doing. Do you know what I mean? So, it's one of those things. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Piracy is that thing that will always be about. And the thing is, I don't think it damages sales and things like that.
No.
I think it can help. Like,
I watched a video earlier by Did You Know Gaming, and it was talking about Super Mario Galaxy 2. And it was saying that although for the first 2 years that the game was out, it was the #1 pirated game for the Wii. It was also like one of the #1 games, like in regards to sales as well.
Yeah.
So it is one of those things where obviously piracy can damage it, but the way that people are in with the social justice, like that kind of bit of society, is people will go, I pirated this game, it's really good. Actually, when I see it, I'll buy it.
Yeah. That's the thing, because I think it's that thing with people. If you buy it first and it's shit, you've just literally giving your money to someone that's give you shit.
Yeah.
Like, that you're not going to play again, you're not going to bother with. So, yeah.
And it's kind of that model where EA Access kind of does well. So, what was it, like $3.99 a month? It's really cheap. But if you get to play, FIFA 16 for 10 hours, NBA for 10 hours, NHL for 10 hours, NFL for 10 hours, all for that £4, and then, so actually I do want that game, you can go buy it. Because, shelling out £4 for 10 hours actually isn't that bad when you think about when we used to have, like, Blockbuster and used to use Love Film and stuff. It just works quite well. But I thought it was interesting just to see that it's one of those things where, you'd think companies would plan for it, for somebody to break their stuff. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, though, if you think about it, you can't find all the exploits in-house.
No.
Like, it's the same as games when you look at how they all need patching most of the time. You can't find all the exploits in-house because you've only got a certain amount of resources, and then really, like, the minds that are doing it and finding these things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once they've thought of all the ways to do it, that's them exhausted sort of thing. Like,
it's one of those things where, people that have the early Vives are going to end up, like, those ones are going to be more valuable than later ones. Because I guess when they update firmware and stuff, they try to...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As the updates come out, so, yeah. That's quite cool. Games of Gold. Have you seen what we've got coming this month on Xbox?
No.
So, there were some that I thought, actually, yeah, this is a pretty decent month. So, the top ones that I've seen are, I think it was Goat Simulator, The Crew, and XCOM are on the list. Just trying to find what the others were.
XCOM's alright. The Crew's pretty shit.
I've heard that Goat Simulator is quite joke, so I just thought that I haven't played it at all.
I've never played it, but it's one of those where it sort of looks, you'll pick it up, you'll play it, you'll have a laugh, and then you'll put it down and never play it again.
The thing is, I kind of feel with like Goat Simulator, like the girls are more interested in playing on the Xbox and stuff now. So, I've been putting on Minecraft on creative and just letting them just do whatever as they're getting used to moving around and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what type of game Goat Simulator really is, but if it's like a sandbox where just stupid stuff happens, I think it'd be quite fun for the girls if I just gave them the controller and let them just run around as a goat.
Yeah.
The Crew, so obviously we weren't big fans of The Crew because there were many bits of it that really just didn't... It was mainly the AI was the issue in the game.
You know what the issue for me was? The ranking system and the upgrading the cars. It sort of seemed, what's the point?
Okay.
Just in a sense of, like, I don't know. The handling felt a bit heavy, almost.
I get that. The thing is, like, there's certain things. So when you play a new game and cars drive a bit differently, you can kind of adjust to it. The thing for me was that we were seeing so many issues where, oh, there goes the bottle, Sprees, there goes the bottle. We're not gonna have an intervention on air. We're gonna move on.
You know how quiet I was trying to do that.
Gonna move on.
Right.
Alcoholic. But the crew has 5 million players. And it's one of those things where there were so many things about the game that were good. It was good, like, having that thing of roving around the streets and doing different races, kind of doing it co-op. But the problem was with the AI. The amount of videos we had of, like, you'd be going through a forest, whizzing through the trees, and you look behind you, and, like, the police cars are, like, strafing the trees. And they're maintaining the speed. Like, you're doing the, what would they call, like, the takedown missions.
Yeah. And
you'll smash the car, and their car will just not even skid. Do you know what I mean? Like, 100% traction, he's off, he's gone. Like, there's no issues, whereas your car's spinning out.
No, I do get that. I think there was quite a lot of issues with that game in general. Like,
I felt like I had a Fruit Machines mentality. Like, if I'd done the mission enough times, one time it would be easy.
I just felt like it didn't really seem worth upgrading your car in a sense of it didn't feel like it did anything.
Yeah, because it was a weird system, wasn't it? Because obviously you get things for doing certain objectives, and then like you just bolster it onto your car straight away.
And they had that weird sort of point system, like where you'd be say like 230, and I'd be like 235. What's that even mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
But yeah, with the crew having 5 million players, they the guys over at the PlayStation blog, I think they put it on, they spoke about some of the Easter eggs that are hidden on the game. So they just revealed a few. So there's one where they've put like, the producers, the team that made it, they are in there as civilians. If you look at the civilians, that is actually like they've scanned themselves in. They've got the schoolhouse from the old movie The Birds, and they've also got the wedding chapel from Kill Bill Volume 2.
What's The Birds?
Hitchcock's The Birds. It was like a old American.
Is this a film I should have seen?
Not necessarily. It's the one where like the birds are just going around like killing everyone. I can't remember who was in it, to be fair. I just remember it's really old. I couldn't tell you blow by blow what happens. I just remember it's one of those films that...
Did it scare you?
No, I don't. Well, the thing is, I don't really remember it. But it's one of those where I just remember it's like a pop culture reference. You know what I mean? Not everybody should have seen it, but I feel like you should have heard of it. If that makes sense. So they had that in there as an Easter egg. Apparently there's Bigfoot if you go to a certain part of the map.
Really?
Bigfoot is chilling next to the northern Cascades Forest on the west coast. There's a UFO that's landed in the western shrub steeps near the dead airplane yard. And there's a unicorn running free in Coal States Forest on the east coast.
I'm sorry, a unicorn?
That's the thing, they've got like Easter eggs like hidden in, because if you think, it was a massive world. Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things that was really upsetting, is that it had the premise to be an amazing game and just kind of, mess us a bit.
On massive worlds and going a little bit off, but it's still Ubisoft. Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Okay, yeah. Ellis has
doing...
been talking about that a bit.
I know. I've even seen Stein talking about that. And he's not normally a shooter person, I would say.
No, but he likes books, and it's Tom Clancy's. See what I did?
Okay.
2 and 2, making 4.
Yes. Anyway, are you sure that's making 4 there? Really? Just because he likes books, that it goes into games? Anyway,
Anywho.
Like all this is making me think is because look at the size of the world in The Crew, and the Ghost Recon game is going to be set in Bolivia.
Yeah. And
it's sort of it makes me wonder if they're going to have the sort of same team on the world sort of thing, like just where to be fair, they did create quite a good world.
Yeah.
On The Crew. So
one of the first things I did was drive from one, because it wasn't even locked. Like you could drive from one corner of the map to the other from the get-go.
Yeah. I just think, like, if you transfer over that part of it, it should be really interesting, because they're going to have vehicles in Ghost Recon as well and things like that. So it should be quite a good game, I reckon. As
I say, I don't really know much about it. What direction are they going in with it? Are they doing kind of like The Division? And being an MMO kind of thing?
No. I think it's 4-player co-op. As far as I know, it's 4-player co-op. I don't know about multiplayer. But essentially, they're doing it sort of like Crackdown was, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
haven't much of a new Crackdown, have we? Like, we heard a bit when Xbox One came out.
Yeah, when they was on about, we're gonna have it so you can destroy all the world,
all the buildings and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that I reckon it's gone quiet because we're going to hear so much at E3.
Yeah.
They've kind of gone like, should we tell them? Nope, just wait.
That's the thing now, isn't it? Everyone's got the cards to the chest now, waiting for that. Just so that they can have a big reveal, and it's sort of like, it probably won't be that big a reveal. Like,
Speaking of big reveals, and I don't mean a man in a raincoat, I was quite amazed when I saw the other day about Samsung. So as you know, I think I've mentioned it on the show before, that I'm looking at the next phone to get.
Yeah.
And I've been edging towards a Samsung S7 or the S7 Edge. And with my network provider, I get discounts and stuff, so I want to try and stay with them. But the problem with the S7 Edge is that they only had it in black. They didn't have any of the other colors. They were like, black sells reliably, yellows don't, we won't be getting it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to think about this if I want to just get the S7 and not the Edge. Here's an issue for me, is that there is a Batman special edition of the Galaxy S7 Edge coming out.
Okay.
So I need to get back onto my network provider and be like, guys, are we going to be stocking this? The only thing is that there's been...
Can I ask what's so special about this Batman?
Okay, so It's black and gold. So around the camera at the back, it's got this. So it's mainly black with like a gold trim. So Samsung's written gold. Your speaker bit's in gold. It's got the trim on the back, but it also has the Batman logo on the back. It comes in a box with the Batman logo on it, and inside that box is another box with the Batman logo. So it's just it just looks pretty damn cool, but not over the top.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that thing of they haven't given a date. So it says inside the box, a special edition S7 Edge comes bundled inside a Batman-themed retail box, which includes accessories like a protective case, a bat symbol. Because they're linking it with Injustice. What was it called? Like Gods Among Us or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have some Injustice game credit. It says an Oculus VR content voucher, and there's talk of there being a Gear VR headset. So it kind of depends, but they've said that the handset will be released in early June in select markets of South Korea, China, Singapore, Russia, Latin America, and others. But the UK and the US isn't specifically mentioned.
Yeah.
So the regions and the pricing details are supposed to come soon. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'm just going to stay on my monthly rolling plan to see what the deal is, because I think I've seen the phone that I want. It might not be the phone that I want, but it's the phone that I need right now. See what I did?
Yeah, Yeah, I saw that.
I'm fire, mate. I'm fire. Better get the extinguisher.
No.
No?
No.
Because you'll be well jelly, you there with your Xperia, and I'm like, and do you know what? I would even have the classic Adam West ringtone.
Oh wow. No, because when you say Adam West, I just think of Family Guy. Adam West.
I thought you were going to say you think about the scene when he had the shark repellent.
Oh, I know about that scene very well. But no, I just think of Family Guy and them singing his name.
Oh, Jesus. So yeah, it's just the other day the conversation came up. Who was I talking to? And they were saying like, "Who is your Batman?" Because that was it. It started off with "Who is your Bond?" So I'll start off with that question. Squeak, who is your Bond?
My Bond?
James Bond.
I kind of got where you was going with it.
Did you see what I did?
Yeah.
Telling you, mate. On a roll.
I
Head between your legs, fall forward. That's how you roll.
Part of me would say Connery, but it's that thing of I feel he's a bit too predictable and like, Roger Moore.
See, I feel that mine, but it was a generation thing, is Pierce Brosnan.
Okay, yeah.
So that was a conversation. It was one of those things where, I guess he's kind of my favourite because I liked the wisecracking and the style that Pierce done it in. But it was a generation thing. And then the conversation was, who is your Batman? And some people were saying, like, Christian Bale. Nobody said George Clooney. I think there was a Val Kilmer in there.
What, no one said the Cloontang?
No one said the Cloontang.
Oh my god.
And I said, kids must have been involved in the conversation, because when I said Adam West, they were like, who? And then I went through the conversation of, Mayor West from Family Guy, and they're like, yeah. It's like the voice is Adam West, and he was Batman. And they're like, what?
The thing is,
I'm just trying to educate them.
I remember him. I remember him in his acid-proof suit.
Yeah.
And he got tied up by the Joker. He rolls into the vat of acid, comes out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad I was wearing my acid-proof suit." You can see his fucking eyes and his mouth. Shit. Like, he would have been melting. Like, the screams.
But enough about Batman. I actually listened to this question. Who is your Batman? If you had to pick your favourite Batman.
And Bond.
Okay, and Bond. Who are they?
Because we asked Bond as well.
Squeak, who is your Batman? Was I not listening? I didn't know if you said.
I didn't say because I don't really have a Batman.
Okay.
I don't really have a
I'm Batman.
See, I like Christian Bale as Batman, but
can you give me your best I'm Batman?
I wouldn't say like he's my Batman.
Give me your best I'm Batman.
But my voice isn't that deep, man.
I'm Batman.
It's like when we was doing that. Where is she? Like fucking.
Where is she?
and I feel like I should have been doing that. Where is she? But,
am I gonna get an I'm Batman out of you or not?
I'm Batman.
Okay, I like it. Cool.
You can't get me.
I'll give you a 5 out of 10 for that one. Because you rushed that.
I
want to give it another go?
No, I
Okay.
should have done prep work though.
So moving on to this week's WhatsApp. It is a game called The Last Vikings. Way back, I couldn't tell you what episode. It was at the beginning of our lifespan. I spoke about an app, Tiny Dice Dungeon. That was one with the dice, and it was all RNG. You know, you roll the dice until you get a 1, then you stop. Do you remember me talking about that game, Squeak? Like I said, it was quite a while ago.
Sorry, I was just practicing my I'm Batman. Yeah, I do.
Okay, so Spring Loaded made that. They've made The Last Vikings. Again, this is a game that has got so much RNG in it, but I'll go through the premise of it. So you start off, and you're a Viking on a ship. You get on your ship, and you set sail, and you're going to the first, I don't know what to call it, like community, settlement. And as you're going, on the screen, like a bar sort of builds up, and as it's building up, you have a choice to do increase your speed by 1, increase your speed by 2, or collect arrows. When you collect arrows, as you're going along, people are trying to defend themselves from you. I say people, like the game.
Yeah.
Just like throwing boulders at you, or there might be something fly overhead and drop something on you. You have to shoot the arrows to stop those things from hitting you, because if you take a hit, you lose your Viking from the ship. When you have no Vikings on the ship, you go back to base and you have to start again, basically. So, you know, that bit's quite... When you start off, it's quite straightforward, quite easy to do. But obviously, as you get further afield, the projectiles that are coming at you take, like, multiple hits in order to get rid of. I think you get attacked by the Kraken as well. It's something with tentacles that's attacking me. It takes, like, 10 arrows. I'm going to say it's the Kraken. So then you're having to multitask, you know...
Release the Kraken!
the bar building up. You hitting either speed 1, speed 2. When you got enough speed, you can then try and hit speed 3. But you also have to try and get arrows at the same time and then shoot your arrows. So there's quite a lot going on. That part of the game's okay. But it's when you're taking on the settlements. So you get to a settlement and they've got some sort of barricade, depending on how many Vikings you have on your ship. So you start off with a ship that can only have 1. You have to collect resources when you're attacking settlements. Then you can add Vikings to your ship. When you get somewhere, there's a door. Each Viking you have on your ship gets to attack it once each. So say it has 100 HP, and you have only guys that do 20 HP each. You need 5 of them to do the job in one go. But what you have to do is take 2, they hit it, then you go back. They hit it, then you go back, and then you're in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it seems very similar with the bar along the bottom.
Yeah. So
I just thought I'd just look it up now. Yeah.
So then you kind of do that bit, and then once you're in the settlement, it's kind of you going through waves of enemies, and then taking on the boss. But when you're then in the settlement walking along, again, it's a bar at the top, and you stop the bar on either your range stat, your attack stat, your evasion stat, or the speed of the bar so that you can get more presses in between the waves. But the issue is that when it comes to the actual, when it comes to the battle, you have no control really over the battle. It's RNG of them throwing stuff at each other until they connect. If you keep hitting, so say you kept hitting the evade when the bar's going up, 3 of those gives you like a little bonus to this bar where you can use a special move with certain Vikings. So, you know, you can kind of build that up. That's the only thing you have control over. But otherwise, you can have like 5 of your Vikings versus one person from the settlement. And if RNG decides it, your whole team will get wiped out and you've got to start again.
Okay,
and it's that side of the game that kind of annoys me. They've also got like a raid mode where you can take your Vikings, again, depending on how big your ship is. So the ship I got now, I can take Vive Vikings, is what I was going to say. 5 Vikings with me. And yeah, I can go and raid like a random person's settlement, their camp. But you'll get there, I'll raid them, I'll win the battle, and then this little thing spins as to what resource I'll take. And then say it lands on nails, and then it'll say the person has no nails. But the person might have had gold, the person might have had cloth, the person might have had rope. But because the game, I've beat this person, the game's randomly chose the one thing that person doesn't have.
Okay, yeah.
So that annoys me as well. There's little bits on there. They've added a thing where you can get animal companions. I haven't unlocked one yet because I think they've added that as something that's is something that you want, but I think they've made it just unaccessible so that it'll cost, like, it'll try and entice people to pay money towards getting those items. So yeah, it's one of those games where I feel the RNG kind of kills the gameplay so much on it. Like you can have like so like I said, I've got 5 Vikings. They're all quite high levels. I've been forging the weapons that I find and upgrading them to like 2 stars, and they've got an element in there of the upgrades that is really good. You collect resources, you get a boat, you make your boat bigger. Then say you get to like a 3-seater boat, then you do so much of the map and you unlock the next type of boat. When you then build that, it starts back at 1, and then you have to get the resources to get 2 seats, 3 seats, 4 seats. Then you get the next upgraded boat, and then you start at 1 again, then go up to 5. So that bit there is really annoying. But then it's that thing, if you spend all that time, then you go somewhere, and there's 5 versus 1, you can see on the screen that their stats are lower than yours. They're on like 5, 5, 5, and you're on 60, 50, 70, and you can lose.
Yeah. So really, your stats don't mean shit. Like
Yeah. So it was one of those, right? I like the pixel design on it. I like the idea of the game, but the RNG kills it so much, and for that reason, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. That's
what I liked about last week's. The sort of graphical styling.
Yeah.
Sort of. But yeah, no, I think anything where RNG is sort of involved, you always feel a little bit robbed with.
The thing is, I don't mind an element of it, but it's like it dictates everything on that game.
Yeah.
When you are successful and you take over a settlement, RNG decides what will your items be that you get.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just ruins it really. What could have been a lot better. I feel like with the element of when you're going through the camp, say, make it so that I can choose what attacks to do. Make it so that it's obviously turn-based, not just, a load of pixel characters throwing axes at each other and then they just randomly drop. You can't see who's doing what to who.
Yeah.
So just kind of, yeah. So 4 out of 10 for that, which is a bit rubbish, but hey ho. So I guess that's it for the show. Going to quickly do a bit of a plug for next week's show. So, because of the stag do, what game is it? Didn't happen. Hashtag 35 is when we're due our next one. We're bringing on Shugs from the Sunday Segway. The hashtag tech guy from the Sunday Segway is coming. He's a bit apprehensive, but I've had to say to him, look, don't worry. The quiz isn't going to be what happened with Jace and Squeak. It's fine. And
I hope
you will both know. I've made sure that the games you will both know. Again, it's a mixture of a few retro, a few bit newer.
It
but
wasn't so much the games though. It was more the whole describing.
Look, we're not gonna go over this again, okay?
You was shit at describing.
Hashtag 35. We're gonna have Shugs on, and he's gonna take on Squeak. So this could be Squeak being dethroned. We'll have to see what happens there.
I hope so, because I want someone else to fucking come in and start throwing challenges.
Do you feel like the pressure, the more you become undefeated, the more the pressure's on you? Is that what it is?
It's not that. I'm just being built up to be something that I'm not, shit. like fucking built to be a.
You're going to slowly become. You're slowly going to become the Undertaker, you see, in just every WrestleMania. Well, until Lesnar broke the streak. But yeah, we're going to build you up like that. We're going to do this podcast for 30 years of you being undefeated.
Wow. 30 years.
Yeah.
Shit.
Banging this out, and we're 50 plus, still talking about gaming and tech.
You think I'm gonna get
still with 46 subscribers on YouTube?
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, get at us on the various mediums. On Twitter at @uwatt_. Get us on Facebook, facebook.com/uwattpodcast. We're on Podomatic, uwatt.podomatic.com. You can find us on YouTube, youtube.com/uwatt. We have the blog. I finished my first year of uni. I'm going to start tidying it up. uwatt.tk for the blog. And if you want to get at us, feel free to email us at uwattmail@gmail.com. And uwatt is always spelt UWatt.
That's not what I heard from Stein.
You what?
I didn't think I'll ever let him forget that shit, because that was amazing.
The funny thing is, Mum was like, oh, so is Squeak going to imitate every guest the show after then? That's like, nah.
Wow. What, I'm just going to mock everyone? Shit.
So guys, make sure you do tell us who is your Bond and who is your Batman. Answers on a postcard. Get at us on those various different mediums. Squeak, before we sign out, have you got anything you want to throw at the people? So we've done the question.
No,
I thought you'd want to protest your alcoholism, but clearly you're starting to accept
it. Sorry, what? Say that again?
Your alcoholism.
Okay. No. I'm not an alcoholic.
You're not challenging it?
I'm not an alcoholic.
You're not challenging it?
I don't need to challenge it. So I'm not one.
Everybody heard the court go. But I suppose at least now, we're recording this in the evening. It's not like when you get a message at 9:30. Is it too early?
I didn't message you at 9:30. I have never messaged
that.
It was not 9:30.
It was in the group chat. It was like 9:37.
It was not 9:30.
And the thing is, it's one of those where, okay, this is to the people, right? How bad is this when there's a message saying, is it too early? But the person doesn't send like a picture of the ingredients. They send you a picture of the glass half full.
Hey.
Like, you've already started.
Shut up.
So,
I
gonna
couldn't
sign
wait.
out.
I couldn't wait forever for a reply to say yes.
As always, I've been Jace. He's been Squeak. And we'll see you next week.
Later.